Wow. I am so inspired to be here tonight. There's so much that, I've been hearing. Of course, the stories that are being shared with us tonight are just so interesting. They are ones that make you feel like you can do even more than you have achieved. I certainly feel that way tonight because as, my resume is sort of read, I sit and I wonder. And of course, I'm inspired by all of the stories that I know will be told that will be greater than mine even. And that's why we continue to do what we do. It's kind of like, tonight meeting Anahi, who drew something for me. And it's interesting because I called myself a unicorn. And I've said publicly before that always be a unicorn unless you can, always be yourself unless you can be a unicorn, and then always be a unicorn. And she drew something that represents that and signed it, and it will be framed in my office tomorrow. I promise you that. Thank you so much. But I'm really proud to be here tonight. My thanks to Dave Marcy, of course, Tom Ann, thank you so much, and Ann Eve, for inspiring this entire evening. We are so lucky and blessed to have you and to have you inspire an evening such as this. And for me, I am incredibly proud to stand here in front of this year's graduates and really, it's really about you. The rousing, ovation is yours. So again, I just want to applaud all of your achievement. And interestingly enough, I had the opportunity to go back to my alma mater, Wesleyan University in Milltown, Connecticut, last week. And I gave the keynote address for prospective students who are matriculating to Wesleyan in the fall. And it was interesting because it was both nostalgic and strange because it's been almost 20 years since I graduated. And as the saying goes, the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? And the things that have changed are things like, they don't play spades in the hallway anymore. Folks are on their iPhones. But the food is so much better. Oh my God. They still have the Lucky Charms though in the cafeteria, so that was great. But it was interesting because I ran into and met a young man there who, in fact, I saw him come home from the hospital because I was his babysitter. When I was at Wesleyan, and yeah, you guessed it, he's now a freshman at Wesleyan. And so he completely killed my vibe because I was, walking around trying to pretend like I was a college student. And, I look good. You better stop it. Thank you. Or at least a young professor or something, but that didn't work. He's a really grown man, but that means I'm an even growner leaping woman, and that's okay. But I won't digress with that story because as many have said here tonight, this is a storytelling night. And you saw even in the video that I feel like my father's a storyteller, I'm a storyteller. And you never want to start the story sort of in the middle, right? So you start from the beginning. So I'm going to start there. And the story for me starts with my dad. I think there have been also some credits to parents in the room. But my dad, tonight is really dedicated to him. This honor that I'm receiving tonight is really his. And I wish he was here tonight to see it. I know we're being videotaped so that he can see it because he's in Ghana right now. But his story is one that I believe, most people who would have seen it on paper would have assumed that he would never make it. He would never achieve. And to me, it's the most inspiring thing because I get to see him and talk to him and it be inspired by him. He was born in a small town in the western region of Ghana. The town is called Enyase. His father was the chief, and his young mother passed away before he was 2 years old. Of course, through many struggles, he was not able to go to middle school or high school, and he had to begin working full-time in order to support himself and his family. It's interesting also because one of his favorite sayings is, necessity is the father of invention. And that's what he did. He invented himself. So through those struggles, he really took the chance upon himself to teach himself many things. One of those things was music. And in fact, it is one of the reasons why I believe I'm even standing here today in the career I'm in, because of his love and passion for music and the journey that led him to where he is in his life. So he did many odd jobs, as I said, to try and achieve something of himself, but he ended up in the Ghanaian Armed Forces when he was 18 years old, and he landed there as a musician, playing the wind instruments, clarinet, and became one of the most proficient members of the naval band. And it was that opportunity and that sort of tenacity that he had as a musician that led him to apply for college in the United States. And in fact, someone who saw him perform and thought, well, this is a talented musician and someone who has some natural intellect, he should apply for even bigger, some scholarships that potentially would be able to allow him to have an even greater opportunity. And so he applied to be a Fulbright scholar and wanted to be able to go to any college in the United States of his choice. To me, that is quite an achievement, and believe me, it's one that he reminds me about every day, every single day, while I was growing up and now. But to me, that's not even the biggest part. The biggest part to me is that he showed up in a country that was not his own, in an environment that was foreign to him. He had never traveled very far from his hometown. And he came to Wesleyan University and received a master's degree and 2 PhDs, one in ethnomusicology and the other in anthropology. And 6 months after I was born, he walked across the stage at Wesleyan University with those degrees. It is inspiring to me. I am completely baffled by the fact that someone could have so much self-startership, if that's a word, to achieve. And it inspires me today. Now, interestingly enough, I don't tell you the story tonight to intimidate or to make any other story seem small. I do it to inspire, because for me, it is not just about inspiration, but also bragging, some bragging rights. You know, yes, I brag. I brag about his achievements. I really do. And to those graduates, those first graduates here, let me be a representation of what your future sons and daughters will do. They will brag about you. They'll be so proud of you in the small ways and in the big ways. They'll be proud of the reason why you even started your journey. They'll be proud of the things you will accomplish. And so for them, I tell you, we are proud of you. We are inspired by you. So for what I've accomplished in my career, as you saw in the video again, all of those things are inspired by him. You know, he made me believe that greatness was achievable, that it didn't matter where you came from or where you started from, but that you could be great regardless of that. And in fact, when I was graduating from college, he wrote me a letter, because my dad, again, storyteller and quite verbose. He called me every day in college, by the way, to check on me. I think there was another story like that, to get a full account of what I was doing, what I was studying, who I met, who I talked to, what I read. And I wanted to read parts of the story or parts of the letter with you because I read it often. I post on social media to inspire other people, so I hope it inspires you today. My father wrote, "As you prepare for the final lap, be strong mentally, spiritually, academically, and physically. Do not allow for distractions. Remember, you belong to a distinct tribe, the Nzima. You have ancestry which have been in leadership from time immemorial. That is your heritage, a heritage of distinction, of demonstrated bravery, of kings, queens, and rulers. And so stay strong. You are first among equals. That is who you are." How could you not be inspired by that? Well, I tell you, this message has been a blessing to me. So I wanted to leave this stage here tonight by leaving it for you. This message should become your own. I hope it becomes your own. I want you to remember, especially the graduates and those who are first in their families, to remember that you too belong to a distinct tribe, a tribe of kings, of queens, of rulers, and of first graduates. You are first among equals. Do not forget that. You should always remember that. I don't believe in coincidences, by the way. And I really don't even believe in luck. So I don't believe it's a coincidence that we are here tonight together, or that you're hearing this message right now. And I don't believe that you're simply the lucky ones who have stumbled upon an opportunity. The struggles you've overcome to sit here today are numerous and great, but you've overcome with the support of this organization and by your own sheer will and power. So you can use that will and that power to channel in a way that will accomplish whatever you desire. So set your sights high, really impossibly high. Set them to heights which others cannot fathom, because this is only the beginning. It really is. And I know that you will climb so high. I'm so looking forward to seeing that. I know that you'll continue to make us proud. So again, like I said, for your future sons and daughters, look at my face. I am so proud. I am so proud. And I'm cheering for you constantly and continually. Woo, woo. Go ahead.